Okay, so today we're going to be going over this thing called the simple future. So you'll want to get out some notes and you're going to title them simple future, and then right underneath it, write down ear plus ah means to go. It can also mean going, goes, is going, am going, are going. Anything revolving the word go is ear plus ah. And we're going to go over what that means in just a minute. So pause this video whenever you need to write things down. I'm going to go through everything pretty quickly. So just take a pause and then write it down and then play again. So the next thing you need to know is just that you will need to know that ear plus ah is called the simple future. You guys are going to have a test on Friday, and on that test there's going to be a question that says, what is ear plus ah? And it'll be multiple choice, and just know that it's called the simple future. Meaning, for example, she is going to the park. We are going to read. They are going to learn. Anything revolving go, it's going to happen. That's the future tense. So if you remember the word ser, you don't need to write any of this down. Just listen to what I'm saying. So ser was the word to be, which we learned at the beginning of the year. And it was soy, eres, es, somos, and son. So the last 2-3 weeks, we've been learning how to conjugate a verb, right? We took off the ending and we changed it to match the subject. Like we added an O, or we added EMOS, or whatever it needed to be. And that's called like regular verbs, right? Because that's how you conjugate every single verb. Well, there's also these ones called irregulars, which they don't conjugate like normal, like we've been doing. One of them was ser. We just had to memorize that it was soy, eres, es, somos, and son. Well, this one is very similar. Okay, we're just going to have to memorize how to conjugate this verb. It doesn't conjugate like normal. So the way that it's conjugated, I've written down the like subject pronouns up here. But down here is what you have to write down. You do not have to write down the top chart, just the bottom one. So the bottom one is yo, voy, ah. Notice that I put ah after every single one. You have to have it afterwards. Okay, so you would just match these up. So yo goes with voy, tu goes with vas, el, ella, usted goes with va, ah, and so on. So write down this bottom chart for sure. Top chart is optional. Pause if you need to, and then I'm going to keep going. So next, you need to write down these 4 definitions right here. So you're going to write down subject and what subject is. You're going to write down verb, what it is, conjugation, infinitive. You will need to know these because we're going to do stuff with this in just a minute. So go ahead, take a pause, write these down. You only need this right here that's highlighted. The next thing you need to write down is that A plus L equals all. Okay, you need to know that, write that down somewhere. So I'll go over the examples. You do not have to write down the examples. So if you saw to the park, you had to write A plus L, or A, L, parque, it turns into all. To the movies, A plus L becomes all. But to the beach, Allah, it's going to stay the same. Okay, it's only when A and L are next to each other. So the next thing you need to write down is we're going to do an example of all of this that we've learned together so far. This is important because if you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to do anything else that we're going to do. So it says, we are going to run at the park. So we take the word we know it's nosotros, or hopefully we know it's nosotros, are going. That's that either voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. We're going to match it up. We should find vamos. We know that the letter A comes after. Then we have to remember, okay, what's to run? Okay, it is correr. We are not going to conjugate correr. We have already conjugated vamos. We have already changed vamos to match nosotros. So we do not change this. It's going to stay as correr. It does not change. Then we have to do at the park. A el parque. But we need to change this to make all. Okay, We're going to keep going. Take a pause if you need to. So the next part, underneath of what you just wrote. So underneath nosotros vamos a correr al parque. You just wrote that down. Underneath it, you're going to tell me what the subject, the verbs, the conjugated verb, and the infinitive are. So the subject in this sentence is we or nosotros. How did I figure that out? The subject is who you're talking about. Who is doing the action? We are going to run at the park. We are doing the action. What is the verb or verbs in this sentence? It should be going, are going, / run. Like those are all the same. So those are all the verbs, right? Vamos a correr. That's the verbs too in the Spanish sentence. Okay? The conjugated verbs. So you have to choose between these, which one is conjugated? Which one did we match to the subject? We matched vamos to the subject. Which one is the infinitive? Infinitive is a verb that does not change. Correr should be your answer. Because we did not change this to match the subject because we already matched vamos. So we don't do both. We just do the first one. So now we're going to do some examples together. So take a pause if you need to write this stuff down. I'm going to delete it. So next is we're going to do these examples. You only need to write these in Spanish. You do not have to write both the Spanish and the English. So they are going to eat at the restaurant. They is ellos. Are going to eat at the restaurant. So this is where you choose between voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. If it's ellos, we should be choosing van, and the letter A always comes afterwards. Then you see, so we have they are going. Whoops. They are going to. Now we need to eat. To eat is the verb comer. We do not change comer because we already changed van. So now we have they are going to eat, and we need at the restaurant. The word for at is a. The restaurant is restaurant with an E, so al restaurante. And we are going to combine A plus L and make it into al restaurante. She is going to swim at the beach. Ella. Now we choose which one of these matches with ella, voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. We should have va, a, the letter A always comes afterwards. So we have she is going to. Now we need to swim, which is nadar. We are not going to conjugate nadar because we already did this one. At the beach. A la playa. I'm going to read at the library. Yo. We have to choose between voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. You should be choosing voy, a. So we have I'm going to. We need to read, which is leer. We are not conjugating it because we already did that to voy. We already changed voy. At the library. A, and then you would find the library. La biblioteca. You informal are not going to the movies. So tú, and then vas, a. Now this not is going before the conjugated verb. So our conjugated verb is vas. So it goes before that. And remember, it's no. Tu no vas a the movie theater. Okay, this one should be el cine. We need to change this to become all, because A plus L equals all. Next is we are not going to run at the lake. So nosotros, we could go ahead and put our no, either voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. You should be choosing vamos. always comes afterwards. Correr is to run. We are not changing correr because we already changed vamos. El lago. We need to change A plus L makes all. Take a pause, and if you need to write this down, please do so, but that is the end of the notes, and we're going to practice more this week. You have a test on Friday. You'll need to know how to conjugate AR, ER, and IR verbs. You'll need to know how to do this, what we're doing today, and you'll need to know places. If you have any questions, you can email me, but other than that, that's the end of this video.